Greetings, friends, and welcome back for today's Extraordinary Connection. My name is Pastor Devin, and I serve as the pastor here at Romeo United Methodist Church. And as I get going here today, I want to share with you these words of Scripture. I'm fairly certain I've used them in a devotion on this site before, but they were the words that have been on my mind this week as I sat down today. So I'm going to read this for you. This is Ecclesiastes 3, verses 1 through 8. For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to throw away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. In some ways, it seems like it was so long ago. And in other ways, it seems like it was just yesterday. But we're coming up on 2 years that Extraordinary Connection has been operating. We started near the end of March in 2020, as so many of us were trying to figure out all the challenges of living in a pandemic, of all those different things that were being put in front of us. The site was started by a group of clergy who wanted to pool our resources. We love the idea of being able to have regular devotions to offer to our churches and their members, to anyone who happened to stumble across our humble site here. And since that time, we've had hundreds of devotions shared and watched. We've had joint services that we were able to come together and participate in. We've been here to support and challenge and uplift one another and hopefully all of you through all that the past 2 years has thrown at us. To every contributor, to every visitor to the site, I offer my most sincere thanks. It's been quite a ride, one that I know has been an amazing blessing to me. However, as we enter the season of Lent here in 2022, the world again looks different. There are, of course, plenty of challenges that we face. Struggles in our churches, in our communities, our nation, our denomination, struggles around the world. I've recently spent a good amount of time in heartfelt prayer and consideration. I've also reached out to those fellow contributors here on the site for their thoughts. And if you've been around for any time, you will have noticed that the frequency of our posts have gone down. This has been because of any number of causes, but a part of it is we all have obligations that we have to keep to our churches and our families, to a world trying to figure out what the new normal is going to be. We've also noticed a decrease in viewers and participation, and so we've been wondering, I found myself wondering, if the words from Ecclesiastes, if they weren't reverberating in my mind for a reason. For everything, there is a season. Perhaps the season of Extraordinary Connection is coming to an end, maybe at least in this current form. And that's where today I'm going to ask for your help. All of you who may be viewing this devotion today, do you still find value in receiving these devotions, the 2 or 3 times a week that they're put out? Would you like us to see us continue in this format? Would you like to see us continue with how we've been doing things? Or what if we switched to a little less regular schedule and perhaps just had offerings when the moment or inspiration struck myself or one of the other contributors, when we just had something to say, something to share? What if we took a different appearance entirely and it involved us having a conversation, a few of us getting together and talking, having a conversation or discussion around different topics or issues or scriptures? Or maybe do you have another idea for ways we can celebrate this extraordinary connection we have in the United Methodist Church going forward? Are you, or do you perhaps know someone that might be interested in being a part of creating the content for this site? We're looking for just a little guidance here on what is the best use of our time and our talents going forward. And perhaps this is the end of the road. Or perhaps it's just the closing of one door while another one is beginning to crack open. We would really love your feedback, and there's a form you can use that's posted immediately after this devotional video on the extraordinaryconnection.org website. You can fill out that form if you'd like. Or if you'd like to simply send your comments, you can send them to our email at info@extraordinaryconnection.org. We'll appreciate any of those thoughts, any of those comments that we can get as we look at how best to move forward. I do thank all of you for your support, the kind words that you've sent to me and my fellow contributors, the prayers you've offered, and know that you have been and you will be in our prayers. I'm thankful to have had a place where we could support one another through these most unusual 2 years. I'm thankful to know the love of Christ in my life. And I'm just as thankful to see it reflected in the words and actions of so many others as we have and we will continue to celebrate our extraordinary connection. And as my prayer has been for all of us these past 2 years, and it will continue to be in the days ahead, stay safe. Take care, and God bless.